Yan stress, in fact. Yeah, like, as a side effects, yan stress. They're so stressful. They're literally so stressful. Hello, hi, my name is Ulunika. If this is your first time joining me, what's up? If it is not, think it is your back. So as you can see from the title of the video, this is not gonna be a vlog. This is obviously my first sit-down video and I'm quite excited because we're actually talking about one of my favorite things ever, which is skincare. Now, some of you may know that last year I underwent a very long and gruesome and very painful journey of being on Oratane, and some of you have not. So obviously this is me sharing my tips, tricks, do's and don'ts, and overall basically having my own miniature story time. I don't know. So in true fashion, please like, comment, and subscribe, and press the bell button to get notified every time I release a new video. But besides that, let's get into it. Yeah. So before we even get into the video, I would like to say that I am not a registered anything. I am not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist, I am not an esthetician, I am not anything. Do not take anything I say on this video as a word of advice, okay? Except for other practical things, but I am not registered with anything. Please, I don't want to get sued. But anyways, let's get into the video properly now. So for some of you that are watching, you probably have some thoughts as to what Oratane is, but if not, don't worry, I got you covered. Ultimately, Oratane is a vitamin A derivative that is part of the Accutane family. It is the best skincare medication I have ever been on, and that's because it really helps to produce sebum production, so obviously the oils and everything. It also helps to control the growth of your bacteria, and it has some anti-inflammatory properties. To me, this is love it. Absolutely love it. Usually when you get prescribed Oratane, it is a last resort to your skincare journey, if we're being completely honest. I know for me personally that it was. My skincare journey as a whole has been very shaky, very long, and very gruesome. I first got prescribed tetracycline by my GP, and that worked. It worked. I was on it twice, so 2-3 month cycles. Also got prescribed epidural. My skin was crystal clear, but at some point my skin was just like, you know what, you're getting a bit too confident, let's just take it back. And then everything decided to hit the fan again. So last year I had enough of the struggle and I decided to actually go see a dermatologist by the name of Dr. Nombelo Ganjo, who is situated in Century City. I will leave her details in the description box. She is amazing. She is fantastic. She is the best thing that has ever happened to me. So we consulted and she obviously saw the situation. She saw the dark marks. She saw the oil production. She just saw the mess that was in me. And she was like, okay, you know what? You've been through so many cycles of other medications, so let's actually put you on Oratane. She put me on 14 milligrams of Oratane as like a bit of a test situationship. She wrote a 1-month script for it, went home, used the thing, and then had to come back for a follow-up consultation, of which she saw that, okay, cool, your skin's progressing, let's see on the thing. And then she further prescribed me 5 months of the medication. So it started in August and I wrapped up in January of 2022, so this year. All in all, it was like, what, a good 5 months? 5 to 6 months between the two. But yeah, no, that was a very long and gruesome time. So obviously, when you go to a dermatologist, you have to pay, and you have to pay for almost every single thing involved with literally having been prescribed Oratane. Obviously, when you actually go and consult, it does not come free, and I did not expect for there to be so many like costs associated with me having to be on the medication, but you know what? That was my own short-sightedness. I was a bit myopic when it came to that. But in any case, I paid 1,000 Rand for the consultation, and I subsequently paid 500 Rand for the 2 follow-ups thereafter. And then when I got prescribed the Oratane itself, that was what, 600 and let's say 650 at most. 670 if we're trying to really push it. Had to pay the 650, 670 for approximately, obviously, the entire time I had been on the medication, which was 5 to 6 months. And then also my dermatologist, again, seeing the state that my skin was in, prescribed, or rather recommended for me to go on a certain skincare routine that I will share later on down the line. Now, I definitely want to talk about the side effects because that is the one thing that I did not expect to touch me so much. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Before I got on the medication, I had been warned by several friends that, hey, listen, it's not a play med, you know, like, don't go on that thing just for fun because you will definitely feel it working. And I mean, I was like, okay, cool, I don't mind drugs, like, okay, cool, as long as it's gonna make my skin good and shit, like, what it do, like, what's up? But when I tell you that I did not listen to my friends, like, oh, yeah, stress, in fact, yeah, like, as a side effects, they're so stressful. They're literally so stressful. The biggest side effect that I was battling was dryness. I mean, you can have a ton of side effects stemming from depression, dryness, what else? Sore muscles, also bones. A friend of mine had that. That was a bit shaky, damn. And also bleeding. But my goodness, dryness was the one thing that was tearing me apart. Wow. In fact, I want us to take a bit of a moment for that because, wow. I was experiencing the dryness mostly in my lips, which made me so self-conscious because I love my lips so much. My lips are what make me. Like, I talk a lot, so naturally people are going to look at my lips. And now if my lips are literally chapped and they're dry as hell, then who am I? Like, who am I? No, seriously, who am I? The fuck? My lips were constantly dry. Whatever I put on them did not work. Literally, Vaseline, DCT, whatever, like, nothing worked. Until someone actually recommended that I use baby bum cream, the Panthen specifically. I was just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't get that. What do you mean I use baby bum cream on these lips? Make it make sense. What? So essentially, I was told to go and buy the Smolanyana Bepanthen, which is baby bum cream, and use it on my lips. And when I tell you the miracles that I saw from using that, I was just like, the combos are combining. The combos are kind of communicating. And when I tell you that I did not expect it to work like that, it was a miracle. It, quite frankly, was a miracle. It was a godsend. It was literally such a fucking godsend. Let's just say the combos were doing everything that they needed to do, and I was so happy. It was literally the best purchase of my entire life. But dryness aside, the one side effect that I just did not understand why it even existed were the nosebleeds. Like, why am I bleeding? Let's talk about that. Why am I seeing my own blood? Like, I'll give you a second to answer me. It's okay. I literally experienced a couple of nosebleeds on this medication, and I was like, I haven't seen or experienced a nosebleed since I was in primary. So what is going on? Like, what is this? And it happened at the most, like, oddest, like, strangest of times. Like, I'll just be blowing my nose for vibes. Literally just blowing my nose for vibes. And then I threw the thing in the bathroom, like, toilet bowl, like, whatever. And then next thing you know, I'm just like, I'm still leaking. Like, what is going on? I see blood. I'm just like, okay, why? This is so necessary. Like, it's lunchtime, dog. Like, chill. Like, what are you doing? But anyways, nosebleeds were a thing for some reason, so be aware of that. But luckily, that only happened like 2 or 3 times. So I was just like, okay, maybe I can kind of like endure this because it's not like an everyday thing, like the dryness of my lips. Yeah. Oh, by the way, going back to the lips, also, yeah, make sure that when you're like peeling off your dead skin and everything, just don't be aggressive, sweetheart, because you can also see blood there. You can also see blood there, my love. It was not cute, it was not great, it was, yeah, it wasn't. Just don't rip. Just don't rip off the band-aid this time. Like, just don't do that. Don't do that. No. Essentially, those were the two main side effects I experienced, thank God. I know quite a couple of people experienced like some really low moods, depression quite a couple of times. And I even remember before even getting prescribed the medication, I saw a lot of other people's reviews and yeah, no, people were really going through it. But I will say that the one strange side effect that I also experienced were the soreness of my shoulders. However, I will say I do carry around a very heavy backpack, and I actually carry 2 bags with me on a daily basis. So I don't know if it was really the Oratane, but yeah. But I did mention it to my dermatologist. She was just like, yeah, it's probably the meds. So also be aware of that. But yeah, no, goodness gracious, that thing was a bit too intense. So I definitely will say that if you do get prescribed this medication, please prioritize moisture by all means necessary. All means necessary. Moving on to my skincare routine. I probably did, I don't know, insinuate that I'll be talking about this. If not, anyways, we're here now. So another thing that my dermatologist said was that I obviously produce oils a bit too much, so I kind of need to, you know, have a skincare routine that kind of helps to maintain that. So in essence, she told me to procure some Eucerin products. And I'm saying it this way because Eucerin is not cheap. But my goodness, it is an investment, I will not lie. So she told me to get the Eucerin oil purifying something. And then, yeah, that's essentially what I use to cleanse. And again, I mentioned this earlier. Please, when you're cleansing your face, also include your lips in there. I promise you, this is the proper, like, pro tip I could ever give you in my entire life. Like, do that. Literally do that. It will essentially save you from everything, like I don't know, incurring a lot of debt on your credit card. Just do it, trust me. But yeah, so essentially that's the only cleanser that she prescribed, and she obviously told me to get some SPF, some sunscreen, obviously SPF 50. But the thing that I noticed with the one that she recommended first was that it also helps to, you know, control like your oil production and stuff. But because I was already using a cleanser that not necessarily strips the oils from your face, but it was kind of doing a bit of something like that. I noticed that with that sunscreen that she prescribed, it just made me a bit too dry. And obviously remember, Oratane is already drying enough as is. So I was just like, this is just a bit too much dryness. So I accidentally bought another sunscreen, the sun cream again from Eucerin, and it helps to kind of reinvite the moisture onto your face. But I don't like using it as is, like alone. I actually do a bit of a mixture with, you know, the OG oil controlling one that she prescribed, and it is the most perfect thing I have ever done in my entire life. I would definitely recommend that you actually also do that. But again, depending on how your skin is, your skin type, your skin everything, make sure you just consult with your dermatologist just to see if maybe the combos are combining, if the combos are communicating. But ultimately, yeah, I would definitely say do what works. And yeah, I think as a final word of advice is that literally take it seriously. You will be on this for, let's say, a couple of months if you're lucky, 3 if you are maybe unlucky or unfortunate like me, like how I was, then you will be on it for 6 months at most. But if you're really unlucky, you'll probably have to go back on the medication again at some point in your life. It happens, but like it happens very rarely. And so far so good for me. But I would definitely say just take it seriously. Obviously don't drink when you're on the medication. I had a couple of drinks, but don't take my word for it, because obviously the medication does kind of mess with your liver quite a bit. I did talk to another doctor about it, and he did say you technically can drink, but only like 1 glass, really. Like, don't overdo it. Your body's already your liver's already is doing a lot of work to process this medication, and now you're kind of adding alcohol into the mix, which needs to, you know, fit it with your liver as well. It's a lot of strain on your organ. Hey, just maybe don't do that. Like, don't do it. Just stick to one glass if you can. Honestly, don't drink excessively. Just don't do it. But in any case, again, follow what your doctor says. And another thing that I'll definitely mention is please wear sunscreen all the time, every day. If you're literally just making yourself a sandwich, wear sunscreen. If you are in the bathroom singing Beyonce's Love on Top, knowing very well that you can't reach the high notes, still wear your sunscreen. Even if you're literally meeting up with your ex and you're not meant to be meeting up with them, still wear your sunscreen. In fact, don't even fucking wear your sunscreen. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you in that person's presence? Anyways, not my business. But literally wear your sunscreen 24/7, please. Your skin is going to be very sensitive around this time. Yeah, just don't do anything that is going to harm your skin or just harm your body, because you're really just putting so much strain by having this very strong medication. So yeah, and also your skin does become very susceptible to sunlight and redness and dryness and everything in between. So you essentially want to minimize you having a lot more side effects and just essentially minimize harming your skin by wearing sunscreen. Just please, for my sake, goodness. And I think also, because I have been on it for a month now, I would definitely also recommend having to find a really good skincare routine that is essentially going to help you with the upkeep of your skin. Because as much as, like, yeah, cool, you've been on the meds, you don't have, you know, a single pimple or like blemish or whatever, you will probably have the occasional flare up every now and then. I know that my dermatologist prescribed me epidural, of which, again, like I said at the start of the video, I used when I had my first cycle of like meds and stuff. But that's obviously when there's like a very random flare up. So yeah, try to find a skincare routine that is very good, that works for you, and also just don't do too much, hey? Like, just don't do too much. I am personally still on the same skincare routine as the one that my doctor very much recommended, dermatologist, sorry, that she recommended. And I don't really see the need to kind of change it for now, but obviously if maybe anything changes or whatever, I will let you guys know. But also I will obviously consult myself, consult her, consult somebody, and literally just see like what I actually need to do. But aside from that, I think that's pretty much it. Just wear sunscreen and drink water. Like, don't do too much. Don't do too much. So having said that, that is essentially my entire journey on Oratane. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it was actually helpful. I winged this a lot, like a lot. So if I left out something, I apologize. Or if I really did leave out something quite important, it is definitely in the description box, so please check that. But yeah, that's it for the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me if you want to see more of these. Tell me what you want to see on my channel. Tell me, just tell me, like, communicate, like, just do it. Essentially, that is it for me for this week, and I will see you in next week's video. Peace.